who disappeared 5 years ago. Zhang Yixian. That devil sect. They're renowned for their heretical...
First of all, and this is mostly for those of you who haven't seen it yet, Burn and Sword here is set to launch in 2025 for PC, and it promises to be a new blend of ancient martial arts and hack and slash. In fact, in the game, you'll step into the shoes of a master swordsman that's seeking revenge against a tyrant. It's got influences from old Souls-like games, it features some really intense combat, a rather seamless martial arts, and lots of duels with other martial arts experts as well. Burning Sword Death Sun still doesn't have a set precise release date, but is promised to come out within 2025. It'll be set in a huge world with a fluid swordplay and a deep strategic combat. With that being said, Wuchang Fallen Feathers isn't out yet, but it's already got a lot of people hyped. This is an action RPG set in a fantasy version of the 17th century in China during the Ming Dynasty, and it's blending history with a pretty dark twist. The game is pretty solid looking at heart, and everything from dual swords to magic clubs, flamethrowers in the game are at the table as an option. Seems to be packed with bosses and atmospheric exploration, and it's looking gorgeous. If you're into games like Sekiro or Nia, this one's probably already on your radar. With that being said, Hell Is Us is officially dropping on September 4, and after the latest state of play revealed, this one's shaping up to be something really special. I mean, Nacon and Rogue Factor aren't gonna be doing you any favor in this game with the map markers and quest markers or anything. This is a game about discovery, so if you ever wanted to explore a world completely on your own terms, this might just be that adventure that you've ever wanted. You'll step into the shoes of this warrior searching for his past in a country that's ravaged by civil war and lots of supernatural horrors. Honestly, gameplay is just a breath of fresh air, it seems, in this whole action-adventure genre. And number 4. Elden Ring continues to captivate fans with the combat and the vast open world of the game, following the success of its Shadow of Earth 3 DLC in 2024. And now fans obviously are looking forward to Elden Ring Nightreign. This is a multiplayer-focused spin-off that's arriving on May 30. In fact, Nightreign offers a fresh co-op survival experience for 3 players, shifting from the single-player focus of the original and adding a lot more immersion. Elden Ring is also praised for its world and open world design, and there's gonna be much more. Still, it's a must-play for new and returning fans alike.
Look, the wonder is just up there. But to access it, you still have a long way to go.
With that being said, Honor of Kings World is finally making its way to mobile and PC after nearly 4 years of development. This game, initially planned as a Monster Hunter experience, is now shaping up to resemble something closer to Genshin Impact. And while no specific date or platforms have been officially revealed, Team Studio Group has shared a behind closed doors playtest for media members, offering a sneak peek at co-op gameplay and new enemies and much more. In fact, they have just released a solid new trailer, though we're still waiting on a concrete detail. Frankly, the game's progress is definitely worth watching. My only hope lies with you. With that being said, Lost Soul Aside finally landed on May 30 this year feels like a dream come true for action RPG fans. Basically, it's Devil May Cry's combat meet Final Fantasy's grandeur and the use of Unreal Engine 5 all at the same time. The visuals are one of the most mind-blowing, and the combat seems to be fast, fluid, and with a lot of style. It's been a long wait since its reveal, we all know, but it's now hitting PC and PlayStation 5 on the same day. If you're into cinematic fights and breathtaking worlds, this one's really worth the wait. Let's just hope the wait pays off. I think it will.
Let me be your vengeance. The blade in your hand. You never wanted to be a hero. But for humanity's sake, you must.
Those who seek peace, and those who seek to shatter it.
Crimson Desert, on the other hand, to this very day is one of the most insane open-world action RPGs in the making by Perlibis, same folks behind Black Desert Online. And well, you all know it was originally supposed to be a prequel, which is now its own thing, entirely. You're playing as a mercenary leader in this war-torn world, and it's all about surviving battles and betrayal. The combat feels a bit like God of War, but even more tactical, meets Souls-like. Plus, the world looks huge. The environment's breathtaking, with tons of lore to uncover. Hopefully it's coming out late 2025 and not later. Honestly, I feel like this one could be one of the open world games that really sets the bar.
Disrupted providence. For those who have died, for those who have survived, and for those who will live on.
First things first, we've got here Tides of Annihilation, which is a rather brand new action-adventure and an action RPG at the same time that blends Arthurian legend with a reimagined London. Here's the thing, in this game you play as the last survivor of a city that's overtaken by a fog that distorts reality and transforms its inhabitants into whatever these monsters are. Your mission is to uncover the secrets behind this invasion and restore balance to the world as the last warrior. The game features a pretty unique combat system where you can summon and command over 10 knights or warriors, each with their own distinct abilities inspired by the lore, and it has definitely generated attention for its visuals and gameplay.
Holy Grail. Blood. This is a feast only for the king. You can't escape from your doomed fate.
Gwendolyn, this is your final warning.
The Lies of P DLC Overture, for those of you who missed it, got a lot of people hyped. Don't expect it to answer that jaw-dropping final cutscene of the game, the original, because the game's director confirmed the DLC isn't going to be diving into that, but if you replay the base game, there are some subtle hints about what's coming next. In fact, Overture takes us back into the time with new areas, bosses, weapons, new characters, plus about 20 more hours of gameplay. They even teased that some fan theories are already on the money, so keep speculating. As for that insane cutscene at the end of the game, it looks like we're saving that mystery for a sequel. I don't know, stay tuned.
I never got to say farewell.
AI Limit is finally here. It's been around for a couple of days, and if you missed it, it's a slick punishing action RPG mixing Nier style with Souls combat. In fact, you play as a cyber-enhanced warrior that's slashing through biochemical horrors in a ruined future, and the combat's pretty fast, precise, and loaded with parries, dodges, and brutal combat. Visually, it's a stunner. Unreal Engine 5 delivers the bosses and the environment like a boss. The story is cryptic, but the atmosphere is the chef's kiss. The downside of the game is it is pretty hard. Some RPG systems feel underexplained, but if you crave challenge and style, this one delivers. Overall, it's a must-play for anybody who loves cyberpunk spectacle.
Here to bring down the church, but your battlefield is not here.
The sphere is now open to you. Go. Achieve what you desire.
At number whatever this is, we've got the Awakener Risen, one of the lesser mentioned open world action RPGs with recent history, where you play as an adventurer torn between revenge and redemption. Originally the game was titled A Rise of Awakener, was rebranded in 2022 and now targets a 2025 release on all consoles. There will be Dark Souls light combat with class options, warrior, sword, dancer, whatever, and a sprawling world to explore as well. Though details are sparse, trailers tease a brutal fight against bandits, beasts, and demons. Developers promise a vast world, potentially solid for Souls-like fans if it ever drops.
It's been so long. I never thought I'd see you awaken again.
Souls-like pain meets Korean mythos vibes. Moving on to number whatever, we've got the Relic First Guardian, which is a Korean folklore-inspired hellscape where you're the last guardian hunting fragments of a shattered relic to stop the apocalypse. In fact, Relic's combat seems very punishing, because you either kill or get wrecked by these biomech enemies and the boss is the size of a skyscraper. You get to have a fancy of 5 weapon types to fight with a Nia-style mastery. There's gonna be no XP grind either, it's all classic. This was originally a 2021 multiplayer project. Project Relic is now a solo rage fest with Dark Souls stamina bars and lore buried in its item descriptions. Peak edgelord Souls-like if it drops in 2025. Coming up behind that, it's another Souls-like meet Celtic vibes. Here, Nixon's revamping their 2010 MMO in a hardcore new action RPG with Vindictus Defying Fate. Think Dark Souls meet Devil May Cry with that classic Korean flair once again. 2 characters confirmed so far for the game is sword-wielding tank and a dual sword DPS, each with Nia-style weapon mastery and combo-heavy combat. Besides, the pre-alpha tests already showed a lot of promise. It's a dark fantasy with KMMO swagger, and if it drops in 2025 without pay-to-win nonsense, it'll definitely become a sleeper hit.
Shades. Why do we have to bear the consequences?
Next, it's the much-awaited Ballad of Antara. In fact, a free-to-play fantasy ARPG from Tipsworks, creators of Pascal's Wager, and it's set in a world split by a grey mist, where you play as warriors to fight divine beasts. Combat's a fast one and filthy with a squad of 3 others, and this one you can actually even swap mid-fight. This Power Dimension option in the game will offer this very unique exploration, and it's got gacha to keep it grindy for whatever reason. Originally, it was actually a mobile project. It's now Unreal Engine 5 eye candy for PS5, PC, mobile in 2025. It's basically Nier meets Genshin if you can stomach the F2P grind. And last but not least, we've got Echoes of Yi, Samsara. It's like Sekiro meets Wuchang in a janky but charming Souls where you play as a sword saint's disciple. The game is releasing April 18 this year as a one-time purchase, no microtransactions, bliss. It's a rough diamond for Souls fans craving Wuchang vibes with a budget. In fact, it's got a very unique mix of Souls-like combat and traditional Chinese martial arts. The combat system blends offense and defense seamlessly, kind of like Sekiro, where precise counterattacks are key. We just got a new trailer for it. The PC requirements are chill, nothing too demanding, no need for a beast of a setup. Overall, it's a pretty fast-paced martial arts action and play.